Welcome to HD News, your most trusted news source here at McMaster University. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Olivia Wilson, who is the producer of the newest scientific documentary, To Be Honest.
Hi, thanks for having me here today. I'm so excited. Thanks for giving me this platform to talk about such an important issue in society right now that really isn't getting the attention that it needs. So, thank you.
Could you tell us a little bit more about your movie?
Yeah, so it's a documentary that we made just to raise awareness about what's happening in the environment right now and how bees are affected by what we're doing. One of the things that's really affecting them the most is the use of neonicotinoid pesticides, which is something that we as humans have created, and it's causing a drastic decline in their population. So, for this reason, I created a documentary about this, and it's just to talk about how bees are really facing a disaster right now, and it's a disaster caused by humans, and it's not just going to affect bees, it's going to be a human disaster soon if we don't do something to stop it, because bees are imperative in our lives.
That does seem like a really important issue that I feel like not a lot of people know about. You guys now get to see a sneak peek of the film, To Be Honest.
Rely heavily on pollinator bees to sustain food production globally. But for decades, these insects have seen significant population decline.
Thank honeybees for a lot of the food that you put on your plate. But bee populations, they're taking a hit all across the United States for a variety of reasons.
Widespread reports of bee colony collapses. In the last decade and a half, the nation's beekeepers have reported staggering declines in their bee populations due to pesticides, parasites, and loss of habitat.
While pollinating, bees get exposed to neonicotinoid insecticides, which have been associated with various negative health effects. Neonicotinoids act as multisensory disruptors by decreasing the responsiveness of honeybees to sucrose. Imagine if humans depended on their sense of olfaction to capture food, and their senses were not as responsive. What would be the end result? We just wouldn't be able to capture any food. These insecticides downregulate genes of bee workers at the transcriptional level. Those genes are associated with enzymes which are responsible for carbohydrate and lipid metabolism. The reduced amount of these enzymes results in decreased amounts of energy stores, which furthermore impacts the behavioral development of honeybees. The expression of immune health and detoxification-related genes is also altered due to sublethal exposure to neonicotinoids. Most importantly, scientific literature suggests that neonicotinoid exposure is linked to colony collapse disorder, which is a phenomenon that occurs when majority of the workers disappear from the colony. That results in the abandonment of their queen, and the overall effect is decline in honeybee population.
The environmental implications of a reduction in bee population are detrimental, and all the stresses put on bees are man-made. Not only are bees important for human welfare and agriculture, they support numerous ecosystems and wildlife habitats. Without bees, we have no pollination, no wild plant growth, our food sources decline, and biodiversity declines. Bees create wildlife habitats for other animals by pollinating. Their presence is essential in the growth of many ecosystems such as tropical forests, savanna woodlands, and temperate deciduous forests.
As the world population grows, it is unsustainable to have a decreasing number of pollinators as the demand for food worldwide increases. The value of bee pollination is over $16 billion in the US alone.
As crop yields decrease due to a decline in bees and demand increases due to an exponentially increasing human population, the price of food will only continue to increase due to inflation. This would be economically catastrophic.
Pollination is a crucial ecosystem service provided by bees that enables fertilization and sexual reproduction in angiosperms, and so it is an essential contributor to crop yields that are necessary to sustain the growing human population. No bees is essentially equivalent to no crops.
I always get asked what we can do about declining bee populations, and there's actually quite a few things that we can do at home.
On an individual scale, you can provide a bee-friendly habitat in your backyard or other outdoor spaces. You can eat bee-friendly or organic by not supporting companies that use large amounts of pesticides. You can mitigate the quantity of pesticides and insecticides that you utilize on your own lawn. You can model bee-friendly behavior and promote education on the significance of bees to us humans.
On a larger scale, environmental organizations and the government can look into the implementation of gardens that are tailored for bees to thrive. Researchers have found that even in intensively managed farmland that consists primarily of monoculture crops, where bees typically don't do too well, gardens can benefit bees and enhance pollination. We can also look into the implementation of riparian buffers, which are vegetative zones between an agricultural area and a body of water that can remove neonicotinoids and a host of other contaminants in agricultural runoff from water bodies. According to a review by Frankie and colleagues in 2009, bee species richness decreases with increased urbanization. Urbanization is, unfortunately, inevitable, but one way of keeping the bee population in mind during urbanization is the installation of green roofs on buildings. Seeing as habitat loss is one of the principal causes for the decline in bee population in North America and Canada, green roofs in urban areas can really provide bees with nesting sites that can also contain native flowers and do not require the use of pesticides and neonicotinoids.
Wow, that documentary will really bring awareness to the McMaster community and anyone who watches the video. Thank you for watching the special segment on HD News today, and thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.